Welcoming you back to crypto's juiciest news, baby dolls. The crypto markets are tumbling and tumbling. This is the 4-hour chart that I've put here for you. Isn't it nice to see crypto going down? It's only been 4.5 years, hasn't it? I've got a cracker episode here for you, friends. Elon Musk has just revealed that Donald Trump is on the Epstein list. Boom! Bet you didn't know that one. Also, people have been following it. They knew his name was on the list kind of anyway. Kind of explains a lot, which we'll go on through shortly, especially all the pro-Israel agenda stuff from Donald Trump. Now we know why he was doing the tucky of the chair for Bibi Netanyahu. It's because they honeypotted him. They've got dirt on him. Do you remember, friends? I was saying that from the start. I'm like, man, I just can't help but think like they got some dirt on him. It's weird. Like this guy is like super masculine. He's coming out. He's like, yes, Bibi, I love you, Bibi. It's kind of funny. Okay, now. This is the Bitcoin price chart. We're watching a turbo nuke in real time, but there's really nothing to worry about, friends, because I'm quite relieved because this is so glad, right? We knew this jittery action was going to come. I was just scared that it was going to like take the whole month. I'm like going to drain it again and give us like the 7th red monthly candle in a row or something. So I am actually quite relieved to see this. This is the monthly chart of BTC. It's bouncing a bit, 101k. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes back down. It could, friends, if I was like, let's say I was DCAing a leverage long right here. If I was BTC, I would, this would be my box. I would start scaling, literally starting now and all the way down to like, even 97. And then like, if you really want 92. Yeah, but that's pretty much it, So if I was playing... Like if I was DCAing for the whole cycle and I was leveraging here to do like a macro swing, right? That's what I'd be doing. Starting here and hopefully it tags down out here. And then like you're willing to buy down here. But if Bitcoin comes up, reverses this super trend up higher and does this whole pullback, then you get in the rest of your clip up there. That's what you'd be playing for. So yeah, it's kind of funny. It's all playing out actually in real time. Isn't it spooky, friends? We knew there was going to be some sort of jittery washout, rinse out. And like all of this comes all together with Donald Pump and Elon Musk and their cat fight. This is the weekly chart of BTC that we track all the time. I leave this fib up here to show you, hey, we're going up to about 130k. But yeah, that's pretty much what we've been waiting for. This is now probably going to be the 2nd red weekly candle. There's definitely more of a sentiment washout that's happened. Do you remember, friends? I remember how many times did I tell you, you know what, we got to crank it up a bit, right? I told you. I done told you that if BTC was going to have a jittery down, we expect Ethereum to be strong. Well, guess what? It's holding up very well. This is the Ethereum chart. It is holding up well, friends. Remember, it's doing this bull flag stuff. Like, see, Bitcoin's actually below its level here. But that's because, we know this because Ethereum's 2,400 and not like 4,400, which is what it should be. So it's like just way, way, way too cheap out here. But it's nice. Isn't it nice to see that, that's all Bitcoin crashing can do to Ethereum. It can just do this little candle. That's like good signs that we got great times ahead. The Bitcoin dominance is still charging up, but not to do with Ethereum now. It's probably because you have Soylana weakness. You have XRP and the other tokens as well. They're taking a bit of a hit. Probably Ethereum is going to come back and gather strength out here. What I'm actually very curious to check now, which we'll check live together, is we're going to have a look at the Sol ETH ratio, which is looking at it right now. Sol ETH, pretty much, yes, definitely in the red territory here. Okay, it's pretty much confirming that the trend is flipping. Yeah, you still have LA Vape Cabal stuff coming out. You have a lot of the typical LA Vape Cabalers. Basically, I've listened to all their commentary. Like they're still totally complacent. Everyone out here saying Soylana, the future, soy. Meanwhile, the weekly super trend ratio is literally flipping in real time. But that's it, friend. That's what happens. That's what the definition for complacency is. You're just so euphoric for a long time. It now comes, something does like a lower high. It's basically turning, but you're like a deer in the headlights. And remember, you know this from the Wall Street cheat sheet, but you also got to learn this about yourself. You always got to be asking yourself, are you actually complacent? Don't psych yourself out of everything, but you can have a look here. Complacency. We just need to cool off for the next rally. Go, yeah. We just need Trump to launch another meme coin. We just need Bitcoin to go above 130k. Oh, we just need, more things to happen. And we just need the Soylana treasury stuff out here. So that's pretty much all the complacency. That's just the definite. That's what happens with altcoins, friends, because you're so conducive to to the business cycle. But I guess they'll have to figure it out themselves later. Now the stock market is still holding up quite well, friends. This is the weekly chart out here. Let's go look at the daily. Yeah, stocks, whatever, they're still holding up quite well. Nothing really to see here. Might also do some jittery action. Pretty much all of cryptocurrency. Yeah, we're just waiting for that cycle, just the business cycle to continue out here. This is others BTC. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 red in a row. Come on, man. What a joke, dude. What a joke, friends. What an absolute abomination. But it is what it is. We got to wait it out. PulseChain core coins, absolutely turbo nuking everywhere across the board, minus 15%. Probably more washout stuff out here. PDI 15%. Everything's just down 15% because of Pulse, right? Pulse down 13 to 15%. But you expect to see this, right? Bitcoin, everything else just pooping the bed. It's doing that little dip washout sentiment reset out here. But look no further than Ethereum CME chart, friends, from the Cuck Mercantile Exchange. The CME gap's at 3,200 still. So it's forming this flag. Very, very nice structure for out ready to go. Once again, just got to see how the rest of June plays out. Now, friends, we're going through the biggest part to look at, right? Obviously, number one, bombshell, Elon Musk exposes Donald Trump as being on the Epstein file list. I mean, it's literally just happened moments ago. Now, I've gone to Elon's Twitteroonies, friends, and what he's doing is, look at this. He's sharing, in 1992, Trump partied with Jeffrey Epstein. Just going to leave this here.
Trump opened the resort as a club, shows the future president surrounded by cheerleaders for the Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins.
Oh, yeah. Check it out. I'm going to be president one day. Very interesting. So Elon's really revealing a lot of stuff out here, man. It's gone wild. All these question marks. The Trump tariffs. But what I'm going to show you as well. More quotes. The relationship between Trump and Epstein is well established. Trump flew on Epstein's plane at least 7 times, though it's not clear he ever went to the island. The thing, though, is, friends, that Virginia girl, rest in peace, the one that they assassinated, she said she never saw Trump there in her occasions that she went. But we don't know, because that was just a few occasions, right? Now, this is going turbo viral right now. This is actually the moment you've been waiting for. Time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That's the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day. Mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. So there's so many things just in here to be in the legendary third. Tiffany Fongles, what in the actual truck? Alex Jones, God help us all. Plebita, can you tell us what's the real reason why they haven't released the Bitcoin audit? Of course, you Bitcoin maxis, bro. It's funny. You have some artwork here from Beeple, where he shows muscular midget Elon Musk with a fighting Donald Trump out here. He always does his like pseudo homoerotic artwork out here. But for the rest of us, friends, we are all waiting for the opinion of one man. Who is that man? Ja Rule. Please, somebody get Ja Rule on the phone so we can make sense of all this mess. I've even seen right here, right? Peter Schiff. Well, that escalated quickly as well. So, you know, having this public catfight. Friends, look at this, man. Friends, I told you in 2022, once you understand these network effects, you realize someone can literally be a pedophile. People forget stuff. Okay? They just forget, friends. Friends, our consciousness and our perceptions as a crowd and a population of people, we are way more connected and unified than you think. Okay? It's really weird. It takes a lot to ostracize for like the population to cut off their own limb and get rid of someone that's like has mind share in their head. The government knows this, by the way. That's how they do all the brainwashing. Yeah, they know this. They just spam stuff in your head. Yeah. You know, when something's familiar to you, very familiar, it's very hard for you to even determine that it's really bad for you. Do you know that? Because you have no fear, because it's really familiar. That's why government, they never show you, like even in wartime propaganda, they never show you what the enemy really looks like. They always depict them because they don't want to humanize them. Yeah, because that's us, friends. Remember, we're all built to be in a tribe. Yes, we're built to live in a tribe of 200 people. So you are built to be in a tribe where you can accept a bit of friction that happens out there because you just want to fit in. right? It takes a lot to ostracize. Only like the leaders of the tribe, they have to make these decisions. Okay, but for everyone else, the population, you know, well, we nicknamed the sheep. Yeah, you don't have that built into you. We're accepting all these images in our head whenever we read stuff, and then you're like, oh, I like him or I don't like him. Yeah, you have your little opinion, but you're not going to pretty much, like, if someone says his name in a room, you're not going to go murder someone over it. You know what I mean? Like, you'll still comply. You'll still, like, you know, be a good boy, be a good girl, and you'll still comply. So it's interesting how all this stuff works out. Most people, obviously, they don't even know. They're literally hooked up to the matrix. But yeah, it is what it is. Okay, for the rest of us, we're here to win the game. Yeah, they can go print money, but you and I can't, right? Do you want to work a cubicle job for the rest of your life? I mean, like, I don't. Now, it's also crazy, friends. So Tesla shares started dumping as Elon and Trump started fighting. So I've written here, Trump is breaking up with Elon. Get these two girls in a room together so they can kiss and make up. So here is Trump. The easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's government subsidies and contracts. I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it, right? And then Donald Trump. Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted, that he knew for months I was going to do, and he just went crazy. So there you go, friends. This is wild, man. Absolutely wild. So on top of all this, friends, I've got some really cracker juicy news here for you. So do you remember when Donald Trump interacted with Bibi Netanyahu, Israel Prime Minister? So I'm going to now play this for you slowly. This happened on 2 occasions, okay? 3, 2, 1. Let's play it. See? See that? You see that? So that was the first occasion. There was another occasion as well. And there's if you just type in Trump, Bibi chair, you can see a lot of these interactions out here where you just have a lot of the chair pushing in. So a lot of people were scratching their heads, right? They're like, how come... Like, you know, look at Israel's GDP per capita, right? It is 52,000. Actually, pretty good. Wow, Israel's rich. I didn't know they were that big. Dude, Israel's got an enormous standard of living. That's huge. So Israel, they're rich, and their GDP, but GDP is only 500 billion. I mean, friends, Israel is the same GDP as Iran, pretty much 500 and 400 billion. So, you know what I mean? Like, they're so... You're wondering, like, how come he was doing that? Well, now it gets revealed, right? They had blackmail on him. This is what they do. So it's now confirmed the reason why Trump has been worshipping Israel is because Trump was on the Epstein file. So this is like typical power play, men in suits, structures. You know, different countries want to kill each other. All this espionage and coconut intelligence agency, the Mossad. It's just like, it's the oldest time. It's all this James Bond shit, you know? Elon Musk just confirmed it. So, as you know, friends, remember, Jeffrey Epstein was the Mossad agent, pedophile. So, he was, obviously, all this revealed. We all know this. Just mysteriously assassinated in his jail cell, and they tried to say it was self-ending, if you know what I mean, which we all know was a bunch of BS. They turned the cameras off. Oh, golly gee, you've got a jail cell. Oh, no. Did the camera stop working on the night he was gone? It's comical at this point, right? If you wrote this into a movie, you're like, that would never happen. Yeah, happens all the time. That's where they get the movie ideas from. So remember, Epstein had a pedophile island. So Epstein Island, right? And just to let you know, Alex Jones had been talking about the pedophile island for like 10 years, and no one believed him. He goes, there's an actual pedophile island. He goes, there's a pedophile island, and they take their little minors. And everyone was like, what are you talking about? He's like, there's 17-year-old girls that are going to this. And everyone's like, you're crazy, dude. Joe Rogan was always like, Alex, where are you getting this information from? It's wild, fans. It's really wild. Some of these people just have this ability to like tap in to stuff. It's almost what I do in crypto, because I'm here 18 hours a day, right? So I can't tap into the stuff because we're not there. But, you know, I'm sure you could do it too if you had 18 hours a day. So obviously, Epstein invited all the world's most powerful people. They engaged in, you know, adult activities with minors, which is obviously very, very naughty. Crimes against humanity. You know, Billy Clinton was on there. Everyone's on there, right? So remember, my friends, Donald Trump being caught tucking in the chair for Israel Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu, leading many to scratch their heads in confusion and shock. So I guess this is just like a perfect representation of, you know, what's been going on. They're like, that's so weird, bro. Like, You put the chair in, like, here. Why? And like, look at this. He's such a big, powerful man. You would think this is AI generated. You think it's one of those AI things where, like, you know, they make him like submit because that's what, you know, that's what usually when there's someone like, you know, in higher up power structures, like you know, Democrat, Republican stuff. The Democrats, because you know, there's a lot of like women and young people voters, and they don't respond to strength and power. They respond to empathy and peacetime stuff. That's pretty much just a pendulum swinging, political swinging, right? Depends on how you feel in your context of your time, right? And people obviously change over time, right? So during wartime, you want the conservative part out here. That's also why Israel as well. That's why a lot of their attacks just come straight from Israel. Like they know, they let it happen because his popularity rises when there's pretty much when there's bombs and stuff going off and there's more wartime. So you want a more conservative, strong person when there's wartime stuff because you want like a leader, fatherly figure. But then during peacetime, people want people like Barack Obama, even though Barack Obama killed way more many people than Trump did, which is, you know, just interesting. That's weird. Yeah, okay. But you know, but it was peacetime stuff. It's like, you know, hey, we're hanging out and like we're having fun here, and you know, like Barack Obama plays like basketball, goes on to like, you know, the TV shows. So as you know, friends, for more information, right? So Mossad, they are known for doing aggressive honeypots and blackmailing on all US politicians in order to maintain positional representation in US politics. Okay, so it's always a heated debate. You probably see it everywhere. And yeah, even US politicians, they admitted this like, you know, 30, 40 years ago. But here's the thing, the Mossad were working with the Coconut Intelligence Agency themselves, the US one. So they would do that and they'd both trap the politicians. And they'd set up wild orgies, swingers clubs. Yeah, you name it, man. Strip clubs. Yeah, they set up a lot of stuff and they just trap politicians. And they just get dirt on you. And then I'm guessing what everyone's happening is, you know, that now they got dirt on you. They're like, hey, you know, here's $10,000 because we got dirt on you. You have to do what you say anyway. You're going to do, you know, going to do whatever we tell you to do. And that's pretty much it, right? So obviously, Donald Trump here, now we know why, right? So they probably had dirt on him. That explains a lot of his loyalty in that department. And I joked here, friends, the Elon announcement sent Bitcoin down to liquidate James Wynn, which he did get liquidated 3 times. Shout out to my friend, Mr. Peplord, Orange Man Bad. So just have these pictures out here. Mr. Shield Gates, this makes a lot of sense. I've been suspecting this from the start after they never released them, despite promising to do so on day 1. Yeah. Now, you want to know something even more interesting, friends? This is kind of wild. On Joe Rogan, there's this mentalist guy, and believe it or not, friends, they looked him up. Okay, so this guy, before you even like, this is crazy, man. This is like James Bond stuff. All right, so someone looked this guy up. His name's Oz Perlman. The mentalist and magician was raised in a Jewish household. He's born in Israel. Okay, he had a bar mitzvah. Yeah, so he's a mentalist, right? Mentalists, they like try to guess stuff based off your perception and action. It's almost like cold calling. Now, here's the thing. On the show, he goes on Joe Rogan, okay? He goes on Joe Rogan and he gets Joe. He goes, do this number, up or down. Tell me a random number, 4 digits. And then he goes from getting Joe in like a minute. He goes from getting Joe to guess a number. Joe guesses like 2020, a number. But he uses this information and then he writes down Joe Rogan's PIN number and he shows it to him, his actual PIN number for his bank stuff. And Joe is spooked. Okay, now I'm going to show you the clip, but I'm going to give you the whole story of what happens. I watched it yesterday thinking like, that's really weird. This guy's really talented. No, friends. It's pretty much now, okay, what's been coming out is Joe's been doing a bit of naughty Israel questioning lately, questioning Israel power structures a bit. And is obviously this was the guy they sent in terms of like this psychological warfare. Like, hey, we got dirt on you, right? We know your PIN number. All right. You want to know what's interesting as well? You know, friends, you know, in here, Joe, he's so quick. I'm going to show you part. He says literally, this is the whole clue. He goes, I got that PIN number in the mail. So, and he obviously, Joe doesn't know what the hell's going on. We don't know what's going on, but now it all makes sense, man. This is wild. So they got dirt on everyone. So you check it out.
How long you been married?
16 years.
Okay, nailed that question. Well played.
Thank you.
You got your sister's happy, your wife's happy.
Look at that. Let's say
So get out your calculator. I'd love that. And you add it up and you do a random number. You know, screw calculator. I want it to be spontaneous. Would your wife know your ATM PIN code? No?
No.
Lie to me. Do not tell me your real ATM PIN code.
Okay.
Obviously, unless you want to.
So that's what they do, friends. They go through, he writes down a number, so he's writing it
Men
down.
like lie by saying things are bigger, right? No shocker.
Okay.
So I don't think I would tell you right off the jump for me that means that your first number, you don't have to say anything yet. I wrote 2020 is smaller. That's what most people do when they're rushed. If I had given you 5 minutes, you would have done this different.
No, I wouldn't have.
No, you would have.
Why would I have?
Because you would have thought about it, and then people go down a different path.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
So Joe was very standoffish at the start. So I almost feel like Joe had this really weird vibe because Joe's spoken to everyone, hours, #1 podcaster in the world. Just to let you know, friends, Joe Rogan feels good about Bob Lazar. Now, I'm not going to talk about UFO stuff now, but Joe even believes his story, okay? He says, we've corroborated thousands of things, right? So it was strange. Why you've spoken to every type of person out here. How come you're so standoffish? So he was getting a very weird, bad karma bad energy from this guy. You could just very, very, very obvious. Like, no. It's very standoffish, right? So now we kind of know why. It's almost like this guy had a plan in his head and Joe could sense something was off. And his plan was, I'm going to literally let Joe know, hey, we, obviously implying the power structures behind Israel, whatever, we have your PIN code, probably your phone's got Pegasus on it. Remember, friends, I covered it for you the other day. His phone's probably like, totally Pegasus out, where they've got access to everything. They see all his phone numbers, or everything on all the information. They can turn on his camera.
Okay, worked out for me either way. You'll be honest. Can we acquiesce that the first number I got was correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you did.
So watch you go out here. Watch, he writes down the PIN.
I'm only going to ask you one more question. I'm not looking for answers. The last number is the biggest, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm showing this to you. Is there a camera behind me? I don't want to make sure. I'm only going to show it to you. It's not 2020. How'd I do, Joe? Is that your ATM PIN code?
Yeah. That's weird. I'm skeptical because I've got that PIN code in the mail.
He's calling his bank right now and being like, Joe, do you know this?
So it just now here's the thing, friends. Recently, Joe's been asking some naughty questions. This is him and Bono.
Just recent report. It's not proven, but the surveillance enough suggests 300,000 people have already died from just...
So on this, right, Joe Rogan sets the record straight after Bono claims 300,000 people died because of Doge. You said was a money laundering operation, Joe says. There's no oversight, no receipts. There is a lot of fraud, a lot of money laundering. So
there was
where he goes through and recently he's been doing a lot. He's been asking some questions. Joe's very neutral, friends. He's got a lot of. It's not like he hates any particular race or anything. A lot of his comedian friends are Jewish as well, right? But it's isn't it crazy, man? Everyone's watched. Man, you get a big audience, you're on the list somewhere. It's kind of funny. Do people not know that mentalism relies entirely on prior research? Yeah. Oh man, it's funny. So, what do we learn from all these? Stuff we already knew. Friends, if we can see them popular on TV, podcast, anywhere, they're probably compromised. Yeah, because chances are, if we know their name, if you and I know someone's name like that don't know who our exists, they're probably really popular. They're probably compromised somewhere. Look who everybody hates, by the way. Just something to think about, right? The government hates Bob Lazar, keeps discrediting him. The government, obviously, all the media keeps shitting on Kanye West, right? So it's interesting. These people, they keep getting ostracized, and they come with the next distraction out here to pretty much cover the stories. So, like I said, I didn't teach us anything new. We already knew, man. I've been telling you, this is literally all last year. And we're great. We feel emotionally good because, Donald Trump wins the presidency. And we're I'm like, you know, you don't trust anybody, dude. Who are these people? Then, friends, they don't know you and I exist. They literally don't even know. They don't know I exist. They don't know our names, nothing. And I've already shown you, friends. Remember, I've shown you on YouTube as well. So you got to learn this for the future, because just to show you how hard of the game, mate. Praveen Mohan. Friends, Praveen has 2.25 million subs, okay? Praveen goes to India. He researches UFOs, the Naga, which are reptilian things, ancient races, all depicted in Hindu temples. Friends, they've got a 3,000-year-old Hindu temple. On the walls, they have what contraception looks like. They have a zoom up of sperm and an egg. 3,000 years ago, right? So here's the thing, though. He went on a podcast and he says, yeah, I haven't told him on this. He goes, but when I hit exactly 1 million subscribers on YouTube, yeah, he goes, it was like I was put on a list somewhere. He goes, all my videos, if I mention UFOs, ancient races, just stuff like that, they start getting demonetized and deleted, and they get shadow banned, right? So he has to be super careful with anything he covers now. Now he only has to cover visual stuff that exists. So that's like another like tidbit lesson we learned. Wow, like as you go up, oh, there's a million subs, million followers. Okay, YouTube put you on some high alert list now. You know, just to watch you like even extra carefully. So the world is spinning, and we're just waiting for our bull market, aren't we? Latest news in Ethereum land, right? Ethereum Friends Foundation released a comprehensive treasury policy targeting 15% annual spending of their ETH in 2.5 years operating one way. It plans to reduce the annual spending to 5% over the next 5 years. So pretty much that's why everyone's laughing. Everyone's saying, oh, Ethereum Foundation announced they're gonna dump their Ethereum. But like I said, friends, it's all got to do with the business cycle. So Ethereum is already sold, and the sold off hard, and the business cycle has been low for a very long time. So it's due to just gain strength. So we'll probably see that as Ethereum Foundation spends, there's strength in this thing that's been that's pretty much going to carry it forward. And then you get to see once again that the narrative is just fugazi. Now, friends, shout out to that cuck. There's one blue pill, soy boy, twink, pencil neck, noodle arm, leg day skipping, piece of trash, subhuman filth cuck in Twitter. He did a reply because he doesn't watch Somi, your friend Somi, highest value content in crypto. He made this theory. This is this, man, you guys are usually wasting your time. Like, I'll tell you what he did. He wasted all this time making these posts and allegations. He falsely accused me of not covering the fact that PMI hit 48.5. Okay. And I replied like, bro, I made multiple videos and mentions, and I literally mentioned the PMI came out again bad, and now I've even changed it to 31 months here. I've been covering it. Where have you been? I'm literally talking about this 14 hours a day since it came out, whatever, 5 days ago. So that's what people try to do, friends. When you are a believe in nothing, faithless, pencil neck noodle arm who skips leg day, okay, when you are in that category, and you see anybody else who navigates uncertainty whilst appreciating you don't know what happens, but still refusing to give up, it's like they're looking at a mirror in themselves and they realize they're a piece of trash. They're like weak. So they just want everybody else to be trash like them. It's just your brain does this, right? So your brain, it's called cope. It's literally cope. I know we joke about the meme word, but that's literally what it is. Your brain finds ways to cope out there. You know, losers attract losers because they all hang around themselves. Yeah, well, and winners attract winners. Yeah, so if you program yourself in that right way, hopefully you can change your life for the better. In more news, BitMine Immersion Technologies have raised $18 million via public stock offerings to boost Bitcoin holdings. So the Bitcoin Treasury Bubble is continuing. It's fierce. I love it. You love it. We all love it. It's going to have a blow off probably somewhere, as all cycles do. Don't know what it's going to end up with, but obviously there's probably going to be some signs, friends, where we're like, okay, bad news. This is too much euphoria. Now, I don't know what it's going to be. It just open your mind. It could be something like, you know, Playboy magazine buys Bitcoin, and Coca-Cola and Pepsi, and, you know, just like, and like maybe a company that makes hormone changing drugs. You know what I mean? Like just like really weird news capturing news events, and we're like, you guys, I don't think you guys believe in crypto, man. Who the hell are you? You know, but have to hit us. It'll hit us. It'll be striking. It'll appear. That's not here yet. Michael Saylor, when your bank tells you to buy Bitcoin, it'll cost you $1 million. Timing is everything. So here is Michael Saylor out here.
I think that's what's happening now. The industry is growing up. It's becoming more secure. It will be accepted by banks. It will. I'll leave it at this thought, which is when your bank tells you they'll buy Bitcoin for you and they'll make it really easy, and you can do it on the phone, it'll cost you $1 million Bitcoin. And when your bank calls you on the phone and says, you know, you really ought to buy Bitcoin, it's a digital monetary alternative, and when they recommend it, it'll cost you $10 million of Bitcoin.
So do you see that, friend? That type of talk, that posturing out here, like, I'm a believer, Bitcoin's going up, it's amazing, it's amazing. It's just igniting FOMO into hearts of everyone. That's what's hopefully going to propel our bull market. $13 billion manager Apps makes first institutional purchase of retail tokenized real estate, buying $3.5 million in Italian properties via MetaWealth. So that's pretty cool, right? So tokenized real estate and real world assets, they all play into stablecoin supercycle. Chainlink's a big part of it, real world assets. Also Ethereum, of course, as well. And obviously it's on every chain, real world assets. The best real world asset you want is your US dollar bank account, right? That's stablecoin supercycle. So the more propagation of that, the better for all of us. Circle have officially become a public company, friends. So Circle are USDC scum, C for cuck, and their CBDC trash. So Circle now hit the stock market, and man, like they hit a whopping big price. Check it out. They're up. They open up 168%, 2.6x. They're up at $83. Huge. I think the last IPO thing they did was $30. So they've ended up at $83. So they're worth like billions and billions. Their market cap right now is 17 billion right here, 16.7 billion. We saw Ripple tried, so they put a bid for 8 billion. But yeah, what are you going to get paid? What are you paying, bro? You guys got no money. You've only got $1 billion in cash. What are you going to do? Sell them? They're probably we're going to say, hey, we'll sell you Ripple shares in our company. So that's what they do. So those are obviously just a full-on Fugazi joke out here. But at least it's good for if you hold XRP. It's like more mindshare stuff and people forget about it, whatever. President Trump said he had a very good call with President Xi, focused entirely on trade and rare earth product complexities. Friends, if you ever get a chance to see this rare moment where Donald Trump says rare earth, just pay attention to it. Hopefully we get some video capturing of it. It's like seeing a deer in the wild out here. President Trump, I've always liked Elon. I'd rather he criticize me than the bill. The bill is incredible. They keep talking about this bill, friends. Honestly, look, what's my opinion on Trump and Elon? Firstly, they don't care about us, so who cares? Number one. Okay, but secondly, you have to be honest. Okay, Trump on Epstein, come on, bro. They're all get over it. You know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna do about it? We can't do anything. Okay, but Elon, bro, we got you into crypto. What's wrong with you? Of course they're gonna keep spending money. You can't stop it. That's why we made a whole freaking alternative financial system. Elon's not stupid, okay? He's obviously in cahoots with the government, NASA, and yeah, that's also just to let you know, friends, just to let you specifically know, Elon will be given the keys to the kingdom to like blow our minds with like new anti-gravity tech and stuff out here, okay, down the line. It's pretty much what they call soft disclosure. It's how the government seeps technology organically into society. They've been doing this for like 50 to 70 years. Most people aren't aware of it, but if you research it for 5 seconds, you come to that same conclusion. So yeah, like previous examples are fiber optics, night vision goggles as well. The tech behind night vision and fiber optics, came from down UFO ships. So if you don't like that, you can get over it. Circle raised $1.1 billion in the IPO. Interesting now because Circle raised $1.1 billion and so did PumpFun. Yeah. It makes you think, which would you rather own? Would you rather own Circle or would you rather own PumpFun? Because they're trading around the same market caps, around 10 to 16 billion, right? Which would you rather own? It makes you think. Is it either or? Why not both? Well, obviously you don't want to touch any of them at these prices because there's just much more high value stuff out here. But yeah, PumpFun as a casino, but it's got a big brand and network effect of that. But it's a JPEG casino, and guess what? All the JPEG people in there are losing, right? And Circle, owned by BlackRock. Remember, friends, BlackRock, literally Roca Negra, own 10% of Circle now. They bought it off them. So it's all how they're going to bring in the CBDCs. That also enhances the narrative for PulseChain, right? As being like literally a shining city, shining light on the hill, okay? And especially the PDI narrative, okay? A potential unstable coin that could maybe one day become stable, and there's no blacklist function, right? So now the world needs this stuff more than ever. Literally yesterday they froze, Tether froze 40,000 USDT. There you go. So someone's account just got frozen. There you go. 40 grand stopped, right? Same as Circle as well. James Wynn, as we're seeing, friends, got liquidated. His price was 103, 104K. We'll probably have fun with that later on. Tesla dropped, as we mentioned. Trump says he doesn't mind Elon turning against me, but insists the 1.6 trillion is one of the greatest bills ever. He warns a failure to pass it would lead to 68% tax increase. And then Elon responded saying the Trump tariffs will cause a recession in the second half of the year. Look, I'll be honest. I think they're going to make up and kiss somewhere down the line. I don't think Elon's going to be right about that one. But what do I know? We're all turbo long altcoins, so we're probably biased as well. Just so you can check this out, friends. The 5 stages of grief. James Wynn. Denial. 0.1 billion is not a lot of money. By the way, what an epic quote, man. 0.1 billion. $100 million loss in that. Anger. Truck these CUNTs. Bargaining. Money isn't even real. That's bargaining. It's like, oh, money's not even real, man. Like, it's just, what are we even doing here? Depression. I've lost my mind doing this game. Like Vincent van Gogh, he dedicated his life to his art and lost his mind in the process. That's happened to me, but truck it. And then acceptance. Ha 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 ha. Just like, ha ha ha, what a funny story that was. I finally accepted the story of what that was, man. It was wild what we just saw. This is a picture of USDC Circle at the New York Stock Exchange. The internet financial system for global prosperity. Lies, all of them, because what do you mean internet prosperity? It's literally CBDC. We literally made crypto because this CBDCs are against the whole ethos of it. I want to show you the chart of James Wynn's liquidation stuff as well, just quickly as well, friend. This is what it looked like. Stop, sell, just selling in tranches out here. So, man, remember, learn the lessons. Okay, yeah, it's fun, it's meme, it's entertaining. And I've told you, man, stick to your circle of competence. If you make money in one way, look, we've heard a lot of people have done digging on him. No one's made a conclusive big thing of how he made his money, besides the 25 million from Pepe. But a lot of people said there was a lot of rugging and scamming. But when you look at it, it's a lot of money, right? 60K here, 80K there, 7,000 here. That doesn't make up like this is like big money. So how to get that? Maybe the story will come out one day. So I want to know, and you want to know, where to from here? Uncle Bobby thinks this is enough. This is the stab down. It is nice, man. Remember, like we came back for this liquidity pocket, right? Markets always do this. Come back down, hunt the level, see what's down here, right? Well, obviously, we don't have a lot of excessive leverage longs to probably cascade this lower. But maybe it'll take time. We'll see. So in the event, I guess, of a catastrophe, goes back down to 96. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'll be looking for. Remember the 4-hour super chain, we're going down to low time frames. That 4-hour super chain is still red. So you can't really, I guess, confirm yourself that we've turned the corner unless, I guess, Bitcoin's above 105, 106. So we'll see how it battles it out through this zone out here. You still think extended cycle, friends? I mean, we're praying for it now. That's what a lot of people have seen here for crypto band. Everyone's talking about, oh, this cycle's different, this cycle's different. Yeah, no. The price action's different. The business cycle has been the longest than ever. Yeah, there are these little different components, but you really don't know until the end, right? You don't know. Like this, it is still possible, even though like it's, we haven't seen it before, right? But look, there's many things that have appeared we have never seen before. It is possible that when the business cycle turns, it's short and it's sharp and it's very ferocious. That it is possible, all right? That it could do that, right? But we'll see. we'll see. Remember, looking for exotic top signal list. I mean, yeah, man, $1 billion raises. Oh well, it might get more obvious later on. Like we might see, like I mentioned, Kraken, Gemini, Ripple. They might all do the IPOs with Circle, and they just all get listed on the stock exchange, and they're all dumping on normies out there in stocks land. So we might get that. That'll be great for you and me, because I'll be ticking off all these things. I'm like, man, all these IPO stock companies, like they're all cashing out. They're all cashing out. Who are they cashing out on? It's all the ETF buyers. That's why the Ethereum ETF is going to play a big role for us later on. But for now, you and I, hoping and coping, mog 'em. We're still going to mog 'em. Like, subscribe, belly button, all. Catch you soon.